If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. What's going on, Knuckleheads? If you like to talk about combat sports, click the subscribe button below. This is the place for you. Welcome to Fighters Rep. I'm George with Fighters Rep, and I'm happy to have you Knuckleheads tuning in. And this is my Weili Zhang versus Jessica Andrade post-fight reaction discussion video live. It's Sunday. I call it Anxiety Sundays, typically because work is the following day, but that's not what's happening today. We got the long weekend, so we got tomorrow off. At least most of us do. But even if you don't, thank you so much for joining in. What a fight, and what an absolutely incredible outcome. If you're the UFC, if you're Dana White, you got to be more than thrilled with Zhang Weili, or rather Weili Zhang, not only becoming the first Chinese UFC champion, but doing it in China in emphatic fashion over the former strawweight champion Jessica Andrade at UFC's Fight Night 157. Again, this happened in China, and Weili Zhang, it was in Shenzhen, China, and Weili Zhang just totally sparked Jessica Andrade in just 42 seconds. I mean, it was just unbelievable. It was just an unbelievable performance. And it all started out, the fight started out, they were both kind of feeling each other out. Weili Zhang started, throwing a couple leg kicks here and there. And then she connected with a right hand. And she seemed right away to recognize that, hey, Andrade is wide open for the right hand. So she landed another one. It looked to really hurt Andrade. Andrade went in on her, tried to take her down. Zhang got her in the clinch and just beat her to a pulp in the clinch. I mean, it was just a terrifying array of strikes in the clinch, and I was just absolutely blown away by how strong and how fast and how aggressive Zhang looked in the clinch. I mean, I thought that this was going to be a good fight, and I actually thought Andrade would be favored in this fight, even though from what I've seen from Zhang, she's a very good fighter. But I just felt like it might be a little too early for Zhang. I thought maybe she needed a couple tune-ups before she went for the strap. But man, the UFC wasn't playing around. They put her down for a show in China. They threw her into the main event, and my goodness, did she rise to the occasion. Just an absolutely brilliant performance. There's not much you can say more than that. I mean, she went in there and just did what she was supposed to do, and she landed some vicious elbows and knees in the clinch, and just didn't let up. I mean, she smelled blood, and she went for the kill, and became the UFC strawweight champion in the women's division. Now, this is a massive, massive outcome for the UFC as far as marketing, as far as their brand. I mean, my goodness, to break in the way they broke in to a 1.4 billion person market is just absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know what more to say than that. I mean, it's almost like in one fight, the UFC was basically able to break into a market and completely annihilate and open up a market, more so than maybe ONE FC has been able to do in a very long time. I mean, that's the power of the UFC's marketing machine. I just feel like what they did by having, or what happened by Zhang actually winning that strap in China really, really opens up the floodgates for the UFC in the Asian market. You've got a champion from China, the most populous country in the world at 1.4 or so billion people. a place where, traditional martial arts has been going on since as far as people can remember. And this is going to create, I believe, a huge stream of fighters. And my understanding is the UFC has a PI in China too, a Performance Institute. So I mean, their investment in China just paid massive dividends, if you ask me. I think we're going to see a lot more fighters out of China. I think we're going to see a lot more fans out of China. And it's something I love because, as a promoter, you're always looking for more fighters. You're always looking for more interest in the sport. It benefits you. It benefits the sport. And this was absolutely a grand slam for the UFC. I mean, it couldn't get much bigger. It couldn't get much better. And wow, just wow. An amazing performance. An amazing champion. She looks strong in every single facet of her game. She looks strong on the ground when I've seen her on the ground. She looked vicious in the clinch yesterday. She had a nice, crisp striking. She was landing that right hand easy over and over again on Andrade, who's very tough. And, basically slammed the former champion Rose on her head and took the strap from her. It's just, it's a brutal, it was a brutal performance from a brutal fighter, and I am absolutely looking forward to what this young lady has going on for her in the future. So now we're gonna take a quick look into the live chat before I cut you guys off here. I wanna hear your opinions. The whole point of this channel is not only to air the Fighters Rep fights, but, also it's to get your opinions on what's going on. For me, this is one of the most massive milestones in I think in the history of MMA. Having a Chinese champion in the UFC is a big deal for the fight game. And, I want to know what you guys think. So, before I even talk about that, I'm pointing right here to Fighters Rep 8. Here's the information for Fighters Rep 8. It's going down September 21st. You can get your tickets at fightersrep.com or in the links in the body of this video. It's going to be a banger. We got at least 16 fights right now going on. Cards subject to change, but definitely check it out. And if you're nowhere near California to buy tickets and attend, be sure to tune in right here live on YouTube. So let's check out the live stream. We've got Marco Martinez in the house as usual. Thank you so much, brother. It says, look at that all new scroll moving on up. Yes, sir. You got to step the live stream up for the fans. People are starting to tune in, so we want this to look more professional for them. And Marco Martinez also said that was a tremendous fight. The new champ was so vicious, but used great technique, kept her strikes very compact. This one makes the division so much more exciting. I feel like with JJ as champ, there was no challengers, and when Rose won, she wasn't very active. Now it's more exciting and intriguing division. Dude, the division did just gain a lot of life, man, and it's unbelievable that we have a fighter from China. I mean, I think that's so cool. For me, it's really cool to see people from different countries and stuff participating in the sport. It shows the sport's wide open to everybody. I think the more kind of diversity you have in the sport, you might get more different looks, different styles and stuff, and it really evolves the sport, because perhaps someone like, Zhang, for example, from China, I'm just giving an example here. Maybe she's like really good at Sanshou. And that's something maybe people in the U.S. will start working on, or it's like when we had, the Brazilians come and show everybody Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, this stuff is important in the fight game. Diversity is important in the fight game because it evolves the sport, makes it interesting. People get behind their guys and, it's exciting. So I love the fact that there's a Chinese champion, and I'm really excited at the UFC sort of building the markets in other countries. Another market I'm really excited about that I see them building is the one in Africa. I mean, all these really good African fighters are coming up too, and that's something I'm really excited about too. I'm hoping they invest a little bit more in the Middle East. They've got this show coming up in Abu Dhabi with Habib against Poirier. I think that's a brilliant idea, and you got to give it up to the UFC marketing machine. So, that's kind of all I got for you guys. Those are my thoughts on what happened. I think the UFC just has done it again, exponentially growing their brand, killing it all over the world. They're no joke at all. So, if you weren't able to leave your comment at the live chat, be sure to leave a comment below. Click the links below, get your Fighters Rep gear below, and definitely donate to the links below. It's much appreciated. Until then, I will see you next time, knuckleheads. Thank you so much. Click the link below for your official Fighters Rep merchandise and join Knucklehead Nation.